And I want to talk a little bit about the fake impeachment hearings that we have right now. See, these aren't articles of impeachment. No. This is a vote that they had on an impeachment investigation by the Democrats based on the obstruction of justice in Mueller's report. I know it's a mouthful. But here's the deal. I've been predicting this for how long now? Anybody who was following me over at We Are Change when I was covering the Russiagate scandal, et cetera, probably a year before the Mueller report, probably a good year. And you can go find these videos, just go look for them. You got to go to probably the video section and scroll back. And literally, probably a year before, I said, listen, obstruction of justice is the new Russian collusion. They have no Russian collusion. It's nonsense. It was Johnny nonsense from the beginning. So what was it initially? They thought through perjury traps, and especially one with the president, once he lied in that perjury trap, they could get actual articles of impeachment against him. That failed. All right. I'm not a big Giuliani fan, but I will give Giuliani credit. He kept him from having to be interviewed in that manner, and hence give the type of responses that would have gotten articles of impeachment, period. So what did they do? They knew that wasn't happening. So when they were forced to finally put out the report, you know, when Trump put pressure on, when he brought Barr in, et cetera, they decided they were going to now split it up to Russian collusion and obstruction of justice. So now what we have on the Hill is Corey Lewandowski is the first witness. And this power play, by the way, 51 watching, let's thumbs this up for karma. Right, baby? How you doing? And you're going to, listen, they're going to hope that basically they can get these people involved in more perjury traps and then use some nonsense to get an article of impeachment against the guy. This is the world we live in. This is the circus show. It's here. We're here at the circus, guys. You know, I know they call it clown world now, and I hate going with everything, but if you remember back in the day, I mean, even when I was with InfoWars, I used to talk, you know, basically how this is a big clown show. And you know what? We're not going to go to the park today, I don't think, because there's still that road work going on. Carmen, we're going to walk around the neighborhood. Let's do that. That's what we're going to do. We're going to do some neighborhood walking. So we've got that going on. It's a complete shit show, in my opinion. And if you watched my video before, and I'm talking about Gabbard and criticizing the president and having her back on an issue, this is a big boy channel. We talk about big boy issues. And when the shit is bullshit, we call it. We call it. When you got a impeachment hearing going on, it's nonsense. It's made up. It's really unprecedented, like a lot of things with this administration, like a lot of things with this campaign, you know? It's mind-boggling. All right, so now let's move on to Weinstein and the Me Too and the outrage culture and all that other stuff, right? I don't even know what this guy is all about. I didn't watch the clips. I don't really care. Shane McGillis, I guess he got taken off of that SNL before he could even really land the job. He got it. He's like, yay. They found something on him. They're like, no. And he gets fired, right? Outrage culture. Selective outrage culture. Today, Weinstein's lawyer is now bragging that Weinstein is going to walk by next year. Yeah, you bet. You thought he was going to jail? All right. Best case scenario at this point, and this is absolute 100% best case scenario in that. And I don't think it's even going anywhere near this, but he would get, you know, a 15 to 20 month sentence, probably serve less than a year at some country club and be out, period. That's the best case scenario. What's the likely scenario? He's going to plea down. He'll have to go into some program, et cetera. Maybe he goes on a list. I doubt that too. But that's the reality. And remember, all these Me Too people, et cetera, they champion this. And that's not to knock Ronan Farrow's work on it, right? It's good. Especially right now, he's kind of being more and more associated with those Epstein circles that Jack Scarola and Bradley Edwards talked about, right? That Weinstein slithered in the same circles. Thank you for the super chat, Amy Dye. It is appreciated. So, I mean, what does that say about the culture right now, man? We live in a fake culture of selective outrage that continues on and on and on. And too many people are really in this weird left, right, red, blue mentality. Like, you check out those comment sections lately on the videos that have anything to do with foreign policy. I got news for you. I'm an anti-war guy, especially when that war is being provoked by the military-industrial complex, and it's not one of aggression by somebody that could cause you and I harm. All right? Let's be honest. But I'll tell you who can cause us harm. The Iranian Revolutionary Guard if we try to go into their country. The Russians if we try to go into Iran. They won't be fucking around, man. And I'm too old to go into the military. Obviously, the girls are nowhere near any kind of military bound or age, which is nice, but I don't want them growing up in a world where that type of conflict is okay and encouraged and propagated. Isn't that the real civil rights? Not only against us here with the encroaching police state, but, you know, there's the real racism. There's the real bigotry. Oh, they believe something different than us, okay? They're with the terrorists. They're a different color skin for the most part. I can't understand how they speak, so that's okay. I see what the media tells me, and I believe it. And it's unfortunate, man. And I see more and more people kind of buying into that scenario. And I told people, when it hurts people's wallets, that's when it gets dangerous. And guess what? They already had the biggest surge in prices. It's dropped down a little bit. We covered in the last video. But the fear alone, sorry about that, dropped out. But hopefully we go back to right where I was. The fear alone, guys, the fear alone of all of a sudden eating $3 or $4 a gallon gas. You got to remember back in 2003, 4, 5, you know, 2003 when we went in, everybody had just assumed, oh, for Iraq, guess what? Prices are going to drop all over the place. No, they reached record highs. Retail prices. Come on, what are you doing? Is this what we're doing here? No. Come on, stop sniffing and eating. Karma's trying to play the long game here. I get it. There's nice grass that's being cut. She's a great dog. We love her. We love Karma. All right, so back. How will people react? I mean, already they're getting them in an uproar. We don't even really know what happened. I want to put that out there as well. I don't believe the Iranian Revolutionary Guard or proxy groups would do this, right? It's just too convenient. You've got Trump allegedly talking about lifting sanctions on Iran. Think about how epic that would be. No, come on. What are you doing? We got to keep moving. Keep it moving, Karma. So we have Trump potentially talking about lifting sanctions on Iran, which would be historic, right? It would be, you know, it would be the reverse of him cutting off one of the few things that Obama did that was positive. The other thing, in my opinion, would be commuting the sentence. Come on, let's cross. Commuting the sentence of Manning. I think that was a pretty important thing, and it was kind of surprising, right? So he starts to reverse on that. And literally, what was it, less than 48 hours? And a huge incident goes on with those oil fields, with our Saudi Arabian partners. It's pretty convenient to not speculate that event in itself could have been some, you know, possibility of a false flag, and then have the Houthi rebels take credit, or facilitated to the Houthi rebels by some kind of an intelligence network. In other words, they don't have the means to do so. Somebody steps in who's already an asset on the inside, who knows U.S. intelligence, Israeli intelligence, et cetera, someone who's not Iranian intelligence that obviously has a stake in the game, right? Is that not a possibility? Can we not talk about that? And they give them the arms, and then it gets blamed on Iran. Who knows? I mean, we know so little about this whole situation that we have to ask those questions, because they are extremely real questions with huge repercussions. And right now, again, hate me for it, but Tulsi Gabbard is the only one, in my opinion, that has stepped up to the plate and said, this is madness. Why are we doing anything on the bidding of Saudi Arabia? And she's right. Karma, she's right. So I think that's going to be my rant. I keep up on the Weinstein stuff. You guys should too. I mean, literally, this guy is probably going to walk. He's probably going to walk. That's where we're at. So all the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't take that man down. That's all I'm saying. Even with the media smear, somehow he's finding a way with his money and power. It's pretty gross. Meanwhile, a guy that could have broken up one of the biggest cabals and networks out there, Jeffrey Epstein, all of a sudden has broken bones in his neck. That's about it, guys. So make sure that you're thumbing this video up, sharing it, and joining the Burmese Brigade. If you're new to this, we do a lot more than walk and talks. We do document deep dives, big time news, but we do love karma. And I got to GoFundMe. Hit that up if you can. I love you all, and I'll see you on the flip.